Have you ever felt like there was more inside of you? More confidence, more presence, more personality? But every time you try to step into it, something keeps holding you back. What if I told you today it wasn't your body image? It's not even your closet, nor is it the season you find yourself in life right now. But one daily habit, one habit that has been holding you back from stepping into your own presence. So stay with me, because today might change the way you look at yourself. Be intentional with your life, with your habits, with your energy, with your words, with who you surround yourself with how you show up daily, with what you are working towards, with the steps you take, above all, with what you really want. Hi Elevate gang, welcome to another episode of Elevate with Mama Kesh, a space where style, story and soul come together to help you elevate into the person you are becoming. I am Mama Kesh, your host, and in today's episode, we will be delving into how self-sabotage habits prevent us from gaining our own style confidence. Because you see the thing? Confidence isn't something you can buy, it's something you practice. So stick around. You see, here's the thing most of us don't realize. Most of us aren't lacking self-confidence. Especially we women, most of us are losing it on a daily. Through quiet thoughts and through small habits that are self-sabotaging. For example, you get up in the morning, look into the mirror, and you look for everything that's wrong. Oh, I haven't lost the weight yet. Oh, my teeth don't look as white. Oh, I can never pull this off as all the other girl is. When we do this on a regular basis, we tend to shrink our own presence rather than stepping into it. Tony Robbins has a quote which I love, and it says, "The quality of your life is the quality of your habits." So if you have a habit of constantly making your own self feel small, what do you think is going to happen to your own confidence, and especially your style confidence? That as well is going to shrink and just go down the drain. So let's bring it back with some real life moments, for example, right? Especially we mothers, we go through postpartum, tell ourselves, I'll wait to lose the weight before I start dressing well. You keep your favorite fits, the fits that make you feel powerful for special occasions that never even come. You keep dressing for trends and forget to actually trust your own taste. You copy everything else everyone is doing and forget that you actually have a mind of your own. See? So these are the small things that we do that actually prevent us from trusting our own selves. And Tony Robbins actually has another quote that says, "Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourselves, even the very tiny ones." So when you tell yourself, I'll try again another day, I'll wait until I lose the weight, this isn't my season, other women pull it better off than I do, you know what's happening? You're telling your nervous system that you yourself, you do not trust your own self. And that's not good. Because now you have wired your brain to believe that you are not as good as what you can actually be. So here is it. The number one thing holding you back from style confidence. You are outsourcing your self-worth to the mirror, the scale, compliments, Instagram trends, old version of yourself, external validation. You're seeking permission to feel confident only after something changes. But you see the problem? Confidence comes after you have chosen alignment first. And you have to make the decision of choosing to dress for the woman you are becoming and not the woman you're seeking permission to become. Everything starts shifting only then. Because you see, style is not about perfection. Style confidence is self-trust made visible. So as usual, we're going to take it personal here, and I'm going to tell you guys my own personal story of how I battled with style confidence. So growing up as a teenager in the 2000s, in a fashion era where the it thing was tight jeans, tiny tops with very tiny straps, I really did not like that fashion era. In all honesty, 2000s was my worst fashion era. I always say it. But growing up at that time, I used to hate my arms. I felt like they were too thick. So I never really felt confident in the tiny strap tops. So I really struggled a lot with it. Even after having my mom encourage me to go out there and look like all the other girls were looking like, I just didn't like it. And it forced me to actually stop dressing up and going out. I would just prefer to just stay at home because I never really felt confident. But again, I felt like I was just not living my true self because I was someone that really loved style. I love to dress up. And being a 90s baby, I'd always loved blazers. And actually, my favorite fashion era is the 80s with padded blazers and everything. I really love that. But what I started doing is I told myself, why will I prevent myself from actually dressing up just because the fashion trend at that time were tiny tops? So I started wearing blazers more. Yes, I started it off more as a way to hide the arms that I didn't really like. But with time, I noticed that they were my powerful statement. They were my statement piece. With time, they became my statement piece. So it allowed for me to not just hide my arms, but to feel confident and powerful in them. So I started thrifting blazers, collecting blazers, and I had a very great collection of blazers. But just to say that I did not let a fashion era prevent me from actually expressing myself. I rather found what made me feel alive again and made me feel powerful and leaned into it. Another funny story is growing up as a teenager. While in high school, I actually walked past a group of girls. They were elderly students, and I actually went to a boarding school, and we had like seniors that were ahead of us. And I actually walked past them one day while in high school, and I heard them talking about me. I could tell they were talking about me. And one of the girls in the group says, "Oh, she used to be very pretty. She doesn't look pretty anymore. She's gained a lot of weight and she's just lost it." Imagine a 19-year-old walking past and hearing people say that about her. At 19, you're just building your self-confidence. You're beginning to trust yourself again. That really crushed me. I felt like the world was just crumbling around me. And with time, that made me develop very poor eating habits. And I actually went into starving myself, and it caused me to develop very poor, terrible stomach ulcers, gastric ulcers. And after going to the emergency room over and over again for almost like 2 years of my life, I told myself enough was enough. I wasn't gonna let what people's impressions about me impact my own self-confidence. And I decided, no, what I did was I was going to dress for my own self, for my own confidence. And what I did was, rather than have my closet built on how my body looked like at the particular time, I was a kid. I was growing. Of course, we're going to gain weight, lose weight, go through different things in life, puberty, everything that had to go with it. But at some point, I decided to actually dress more for who I felt inside. And what I did was I made sure that my closet was actually reflecting the things that I liked, regardless of how my body looked like. So what that really meant was I kind of made sure that I had clothes that could fit every single shape that I was as I grew, meaning that rather than just have clothes that would fit a particular body type, I had a variety of clothes that allowed for me to lose weight, gain weight, but still remain stylish. So again, when you lean into powerful items rather than how your body looks, you're giving yourself more power to navigate life. Life's gonna happen. Today you can gain weight, tomorrow you can lose weight, tomorrow you can have a snatch waist, the next day your waistline is gone. Does that mean that you're not gonna stay stylish? So that's the mentality I built at a very early age. I told myself I was no longer going to dress for how my body really looked like. Of course, you want to ensure that whatever pieces that you're picking up are matching your body frame. That's actually a science. You have to do that. But the point is, you cannot prevent yourself from reaching your full style potential just because of how your body looks at a certain stage in life. You cannot prevent yourself from actually moving forward because you think you're not there yet. Of course, I lost the weight over the years. I gained some back, but one thing that stayed constant was my style confidence. So again, the story is just to tell you, give yourself a chance and do not lean on your own self-sabotage. So with my own personal story, that helped me realize that your body is really never the problem, nor the fashion era. The problem is you are waiting to get permission to step into your own style confidence. And you need to stop doing that. You need to stop holding back from actually experiencing your own style confidence, right? So like what I did, you have to stop outsourcing your own confidence to fashion trends, to a specific fashion era, and rather trust your own taste. Because I actually had the taste. The fact that I actually loved padded blazers, even from the 80s or from the 90s, but was in a fashion era that I didn't really love. But I actually understood that. I realized that. I told myself, well, yes, we're in the 2000s, which now wants everyone in tight jeans, skimpy tops, tight tank tops, but that's not really what I love. That's not me. So why did I have to hold myself hostage to a specific fashion era when I actually had other things that I loved wearing? So I gave my own self permission to feel my own style confidence, or to live in my own style confidence. And that's really what you want to be doing, right? You do not want to prevent yourself or hold your own self back by not trusting your own taste. So now I'm going to give you guys 3 simple daily steps to help you build or lean into your style confidence. Number 1, stop dressing for approval and learn to trust your own taste. If you're putting an outfit together and the first thing that comes into your mind is how are people going to perceive it, you're already off the bat. You're already off the track. You're lost. What you should be doing is asking yourself, how do I feel in this fit? Does it make me feel powerful? Does it make me feel confident? That's where you want to start. Once you start dressing to prioritize your ease in your feet or your emotional comfort in your feet, you've already won the battle. Half of it has already been won. Because you see the thing, you don't want to make the mistake of leaning into trends validation or external validations. When you do that, you lost the whole plot. Number 2, you want to choose one safe piece and make it yours. So you want to find one item that is your anchor or your safe anchor. Like we've said before on this podcast, find your fundamentals and anchor to them. It might be a pair of shoes, it might be a particular color, whatever it is, find it and try to wear it over and over again, so that way you can build yourself or you can build your style confidence. Because you see, confidence needs to be practiced. It's a muscle that needs to be built through consistency. So if you keep on doing something over and over again, you're going to build that muscle, and it's going to tell your brain that you trust your own style. You don't want to change things too much, right? If you're still trying to understand what your anchors are, that's fine. You can play around and really find what works for you. But once you do, anchor on it and do it over and over again so that you can build that confidence muscle. The third thing is you want to practice being seen. So what this really means is you might want to just stand into a mirror again and speak confidence into yourself, or maybe walk into a room without necessarily fidgeting too much and with your head up. Just do some things that would allow you to trust your own self and to trust your own presence, because the more you do that, the more you're going to build your own confidence. So again, confidence is not really something you just fall into. You have to practice it and you have to be intentional about it. So these three things: number one, stop dressing for approval, trust your own taste. Number two, choose one safe piece and make it yours. And number three, practice being seen. The number one thing holding us back from self-confidence is focusing on all the things that we do not have within our lives, rather than focusing on the things that we already have and the things that are working for us. So every time you step into the mirror and tell yourself, oh, I haven't lost the weight yet. Oh, I'm not good enough. It looks good on everyone else but me. Why don't you look the other way around and tell yourself how unique you are and lean into the things that actually already work for you? You might have a great smile, which the others don't have. You might have a good aura that the others don't have. Lean into the things that are already working for you. If today's episode spoke to you and you are interested in knowing how to start leaning into your own style confidence, go ahead and book a style session, and we shall go through on a one-to-one basis on how to start eliminating all those self-sabotaging daily habits that are preventing you from stepping into your own presence. If this episode struck a nerve, go ahead and share with friends and families. And until next time,